Welcome to the Artist Advocate. I'm your host, Althea Rene, your one stop for all things music. And today's guest we have is radio personality Donna Franklin from KTSU Radio in Houston, Texas. Hey, Donna, how you
Hi,
doing?
Althea. Every time I hear that, I go, "What is that? You? Is that who I am?" Hi, Althea Rene.
How are
I get so giddy every time I see you. That's
Well, I'm used to being interviewed, not being the
true.
viewer.
Yeah, normally the roles are reversed, so now I'm sitting here going, "Oh, okay." Yeah, I love it. I love it. I'm glad you're doing this, though.
Yeah. It feels really good. It feels necessary.
It
At this point,
is.
been in the business so long, there wasn't any information or help in these different areas, and it's like you're just expected to know all these things. So I'm really blessed to have met and know so many people in the business that I can talk to, and just get your point of view. So
Right.
let's just start by, tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you into this business.
This has been, you've heard the expression of walking in your passion.
Yes.
I am truly walking in my passion. This has been a dream of mine since I was 7 years old, growing up in Chicago, listening to WVON. And that was so far fetched to me because I would listen to the women on that radio
Hmm.
station, and I thought those women were glamorous. And they were like my mother. My mother would go grocery shopping in a dress, stockings, and heels. Who does that? But that's how they were in Chicago back in the '60s.
Yeah.
They were that way. And I'm the tomboy outside playing with my brothers and football and baseball, and I didn't have time for all that other stuff. Well, that's what I want to do, but might not happen because if I gotta wear dresses and heels every day, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just like, but as fate would have it, we moved to Cincinnati and I got married and had my first child. I was working at a Fortune 500 company.
Mm,
Life was good.
mm,
Then major layoffs at the Fortune 500 company.
mm.
I'm going, well, what am I going to do now? Because we were just getting married, just had a baby, you know,
Hmm.
can't nobody afford to stay home and be a mother. I mean, I wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
So, in the middle of the night, I'm breastfeeding, right?
Hmm.
And it says, commercial comes on, it says, "You too can be in broadcasting. Contact us now. The Ohio Center for Broadcasting." I was like, "Hmm." Because at the Fortune 500 company I was working at, they're going to pay us to go back to school and learn a new trade. I said, let me try that. I said, "Husband, what you think about this?" He was like, "Go for it."
Hmm.
And the rest is history. I have not, I have, my oldest is 32, and I've been in this business for 31 years. And
Wow.
not missed a beat, and I've loved every step of the way. Now, mind you, I got in this business in my mid 30s.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you have a radio voice. I mean, so did you always know that you had a radio
I've,
voice?
I've, I've always had I call it a heavy voice. Growing up, you'd answer the phone and go, "Hello. Hi, Mark." That's my little brother. No, oh, this is Donna. "Oh, hey, Donna." And even today, I still get, "Sir, sir." No, not sir.
Oh, no. I never get that. I mean,
I
I
do.
never
I still get it. They still call me sirs. I'm like, "Oh,
I don't get that they would, because to me your voice just has this silkiness. It's like a beautiful, sexy woman voice.
yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, thank
Yeah, absolutely. So you've been in the business for 31 years.
you."
Wow.
Yes.
And during that time, and I know you've worked at several different radio stations, and
So
yeah, okay.
I started my career at CIN in Cincinnati. There was an AM station owned by one African American male. And then in the 90s, this business starts taking off like a bottle rocket.
Mm-hmm.
And the technology is growing so fast. Every time you blink, there was new technology coming out in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to go to this other radio station to learn the technology because we were AM and I wanted to be on FM. So I applied for an overnight job at, ready for this? You ready?
Okay.
Good Times, Great Country, B105.
Okay.
I said, I want to learn it because I knew they had all the equipment that I wanted to learn.
Yeah.
I was so hungry to learn everything about this business.
Yeah.
So I did that for a year, and then we decided to move to Houston. And then I became the host of Smooth Jazz Saturday Night. It's Sunny 99.1. Then I moved on to...
and that's where I met you.
Yes. Then I moved on to 95.7 The Wave.
Okay.
I did that, and that was a pivotal point in my career because most people who get in this business, especially radio, we're basically behind the scenes and we're quiet introverts. Really kind of sort of insecure. But most people don't really know that part.
Yeah.
But I became the first female in this market to host a solo morning show. And I'm still that person.
Wow.
Yeah. And then after that format flipped, of course, it was jazz. When that format flipped, I went to KTSU on the campus of Texas Southern University. And I'm going on my 16th year here.
Wow. That is really wonderful.
Yeah.
That's a great career. Can you explain how spins and reporting work on public radio stations and how they differ from other types of radio stations?
I can do that because I've been on both ends of the spectrum. I started my career I spent the first 15 years of my career in commercial radio, and I'm on my 16th year in public radio. Okay. So there's a distinct difference. And not to put commercial radio down because it does what it's supposed to do.
Okay.
But you have to be a certain individual to get your spins on commercial radio. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You have to be it's almost like a clique kind of sort of.
Mm-hmm.
Public radio, we pride ourselves on introducing brand new artists, brand new music that you would never hear anywhere else.
Okay.
Public radio is responsible for launching so many careers because we record our spins as well. We have to, everybody who plays music, you got to do something with the music industry. Now, we don't have those big pockets, deep pockets like commercial radio, but we still have to do our share and pay our share.
Okay.
Yeah, so go ahead.
So in reporting, that's for artists out there, the reporting stations is how artists get paid.
We report, we report two of our genres that we play, and that is jazz and gospel.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I guess that brings us, so you kind of gone through the substantial difference between public radio, traditional syndicated radio stations, and internet radio stations. How do you feel that internet radio stations, do they play a part in this at all?
Not really.
Okay.
and not to put internet radio stations down at all.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that because they have their audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they serve a purpose.
Yeah.
Anybody who's doing this business serves a purpose.
Okay.
My thing with internet radio is that the competition is so deep.
Okay.
Because there are so many internet radio stations out there, and your thing is, how am I better than anybody else, and what do I do to make it better so people will come to me? And it's a lot of marketing that goes into internet radio, a whole lot.
But internet radio, they're not reporting, so it's
It's basically like fun,
okay.
like something fun, or it's a hobby of yours.
Okay. Or just music that you like. And
Basically.
it's almost like I see a lot of people doing a Spotify playlist or
Yeah,
playlist.
yeah. You make your own playlist out of yes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. It's just people need to know, that's
And I just don't want to step on any toes or anything, but
right.
it's just that being in this business and being in commercial, then public radio, if you're not reporting your spends that you're playing,
Mhm.
the labels and the artists are gonna look at you and go, why should I send you my music?
Right.
I'm sending you my music because I want people to hear it, and and purchase it and buy it and put it in their catalog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you feel that COVID and the shift to streaming, how has that affected radio?
They put a big dent. That changed the whole scope of this business, because while people were at home, they were finding new ways of finding new music, looking at new music. The whole game has changed. So being in radio, you have to find out, how do I get those people back? And I can honestly tell you, it has been good for us as a public radio station.
Mm-hmm.
Because number one, we're only 18,500 watts. That's all we have in the city of Houston. And we can't go up unless we buy a whole nother signal somewhere else.
Okay.
We cannot upgrade what we have because we sit on the campus of Texas Southern University in the path of Hobby Airport where the planes fly. So there's nothing we can do with that.
Okay.
It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But we had to find a better way to connect with people, and we did that through our online. You can listen to us online. You can listen to us on our mobile app, and you can also get us tuned in. So our terrestrial listening is okay, but our online listening and our mobile app is through the roof.
Okay.
We're all over the globe.
I think that in a lot of ways, platforms like TikTok and other platforms where you never hear the whole song, you're hearing 4 seconds, 6 seconds of a song.
You're really not getting the full gist of the song. And I'm glad you mentioned that, Althea, because the difference between commercial radio, they have to do radio edits. They play radio edits. That song is going to be no more than 4 minutes. 4 minutes is too long, to be honest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But in public radio, I love it that we can give you the full length of that song. Because one thing about jazz artists, when they start playing and they're into that song could be 9-10 minutes. and then enjoyable.
Yeah.
9-10 minutes.
Yeah. So can you describe the relationships with radio promoters, versus just how you would get music maybe from an independent artist? Or do you deal with independent artists a lot?
I love independent artists, yes. And most of my music, a lot of the artists are going independent, which I think is fabulous.
Yeah.
Keep your money. I love that.
Yeah.
That's because I do have a couple of promoters that send me music, jazz music. But most of all, I get my music from the independent artists. They send it straight to me.
Okay.
And I love that.
And so, in getting in touch with you, just through KTSU, and just mail it in, and you.
I'd rather you email it, because here's my deal. If you email me a MP3 while I'm going through my mail, I'm going to click on that song and go, ooh. And I don't have to listen to the whole song.
Okay.
Normally less than 5 minutes, and I know whether or not it's a go, yay, or nay.
Okay.
I'll take that song and load it up into our library in less than 2 minutes.
Wow.
So if you send me a whole CD,
Uh-huh.
to listen to the CD, then I have to. It's a long process. But if you email me the MP3,
Okay.
it's 2 minutes and it's loaded in our library.
And you prefer just a single as opposed to just.
You can send the whole out. I prefer the whole, whether you have an EP or an album, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I will listen to that and I'll take a couple of cuts off of that. 9 times out of 10, it won't be the cut that you might want or promote. Yeah. But because I like different. I have an eclectic ear.
Yeah.
Of different music, and 9 times out of 10, what I've been playing for the last couple of weeks, here comes the promoter. Yeah, we're playing this song. Well, we've been playing it, but okay, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So I guess we talked about the streaming and YouTube and all of that, and how that effect of the streaming and everything. I guess they're all kind of independent. It's just a lot of music, a lot to take in, and it's your preference of just how you want to take it in.
Yes.
How does public radio typically acquire your funding?
I'm so glad you asked that question. Because people don't understand that public radio is exactly what it is. Anytime you have public in front of anything, it needs the public support in order to keep going or in order to grow. And without that public support, it dies. Now, KTSU is in its 51st year. We're in our 51st year now.
Okay.
And that's a beautiful thing, to be on an HBCU campus for 51 years and still going strong.
Wow.
And although we have public support, it's called membership.
Okay.
We always use more. As a matter of fact, our membership drive starts in the next couple of weeks.
All right.
Yeah. And you can, there's so many. That's another thing. Due to COVID, you have to come to the people. You got to meet the people where they are.
Yeah.
If you don't meet them where they are, you kind of lost them. You can become a member online, the mobile app.
Mm-hmm.
We have texting now. You can text the word member to our request line number, 713-313-4354. And even though we're coming up for our membership drive in the next couple of weeks, it's 10 days that we kind of change our programming for 10 days. And then we go back to regular programming. But membership at a public radio station is 365 days a year, 12 days, 24 hours a day. We never stop fundraising, ever.
That's just, yeah. And so you do fundraising events throughout the year?
We do. As a matter of fact, yes, we do. We last year we had our gospel jazz brunch that we held the first Sunday of every month. And we have different entities. We just did an R&B oldies party, which we hadn't done in a long time. That was fun. Yeah, so we do have different fundraisers throughout the year. Have to.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful. I've you've been great to me over the years, and many interviews, and just fond memories of George, and people who have worked there, and so I've always been a fan, and
And I've always been a fan of yours, because if you're listening to a song and you're listening to this flute, there's only one person I know who plays the flute with this. She has her niche. When you hear her play the flute, you will hear this little niche, like she's getting ready to sing or something, and be like, "Oh, that's Althea. That's Althea." Yes, I love it.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And I just, like I said, you get to a certain point, and it's like, I'm performing and and living my best life, but at the same time, there's this nagging feeling that I need to give back. I want to give back, and I want to share. And I guess that's what getting older means, that you need to leave something.
And Althea, I'm so glad you're doing this, because as our world begins to change right before our eyes, and you and I have been around to see what's happening, and they're trying to take us back. I just hope that what's happening does not deter the females who either want to be in radio because it's still a male-dominated business,
Yes.
or those females who want to be musicians because it's still a male-dominated business.
Yeah, I did a post the other day, and I spoke about that. It was an early picture when I was in my early 20s, and I said, there was a time that there were no female instrumentalists at that time when I started my career in contemporary jazz.
That's right.
And I had people kind of coming after, they named a bunch of male flutists and said, their flute has been around. I'm like, but not for females.
Not for females, right?
And it's always been that, and it's not just in music, it's in every aspect. We're women, we have to be better. We have to. We have to, and then we have to stay humble, because you can't be too angry.
No. No, but you're right, because that's hard, because the stuff we have to go through in either one of our prospective careers makes no sense, but it is what it is. And then they wonder why we're angry. Well, you try walking in our shoes, dealing what we had to deal with, and let me know if you're not going to be mad about it.
Then there are a lot of the artists, the female artists and instrumentalists who are out today, they have no clue what we've went through.
Right.
Because it's a lot easier for them.
It is.
Shows they're not having to go through a lot of the stuff because of the Me Too. A lot of things that the way people will come at you, they're not comfortable doing that anymore. They're not doing it, but they did it with us.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Yeah. And the things that you had to do just in order to be on the air, it's like, really? But
So my thing is just to spread positivity, and and just talk to people like yourself, and get the information for artists, and just be an advocate. So thank you so much, Donna.
You're so welcome. I'm so honored to be on it. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm going to be in Houston, and we will talk.
Please. Yeah.
I'm going to be in Houston.
All you have to do is stop by. Okay. We'll make room for you always.
Okay? Absolutely. And so I always say knowledge is power. And again, I wish you the best. Have a great summer, and we'll catch up.
Thank you, Althea. Take care.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Hey, this is your girl, Althea Rene, and I'm hosting my first Smooth Jazz Cruise, and I hope to see you there. Foster Perry Travel presents Jazz on the Water, October 13th through October 20th. We will rock the high seas with my musical guest, the saxophone sensation discovered by Prince, B.K. Jackson, and James Lloyd, the keyboard killer from Pieces of a Dream. We'll also be dancing the night away with Houston's line dance leader, Janice My Style Davis. We sail on Royal Caribbean's new luxurious cruise ship, the Wonder of the Seas, from Port Canaveral, Florida, visiting the beautiful East Caribbean, docking in Coco Cay, St. Thomas, and St. Martin. Get your cabins now at AltheaReneJazzCruise.com.